Hi, I'm David Eisner, author of The Drastic Diet. The reason you're watching this video is because you're interested in your health and you want to know which bottled waters out there are good to drink and which ones might not be. And in this video, I want to tell you about this huge experiment that I did, give you the results, and also share with you a couple of things that I know about water in my extensive studies and learning everything that I can about this very intricate and very complicated subject. And I'm going to distill down for you in this video the most important things that you need to know so that when you go out to a store and you need some water, you know which bottled waters you prefer that you're going to pull off the shelf and you're going to drink. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is something that's important in water, and it's pH. Okay, and you might know that this is important already, but I'm going to just explain this real quickly, okay? pH is potential for hydrogen, and the scale goes from 0 to 14, and it measures any aqueous solution. 7 is neutral, above 7 is basic or alkaline, below 7 is acidic. You probably learned about this in your high school chemistry class. Now, why is pH important? Well, all of the fluids in your body have optimal pH ranges. Your blood, for example, has an optimal pH range of anywhere from 7.35 to 7.45. And your blood will do whatever it can to stay in this optimal pH range. In fact, if it goes below, let's say 6.9, you can actually experience coma and death. So what your blood will do in order to stay in this pH range, it will actually pull from your bones and tissues the minerals it needs to stay alkaline enough so that you don't die. Now, this is obviously a brilliant system, but the more that you tax your body by putting acidifying foods, drink, air, different things into your body, the more you compromise your system. And this is true of water. Now, water's pH is supposed to be 7.0. That is pure water's pH. Okay, it's what the pH scale is based on. If you have pure water, H2O, with no ions and no acids in it, you're going to have a pH of 7.0. Except none of the water out there is actually 7.0. Because in order to have that, it needs to be in a sealed container. Water will immediately ionize itself once it's outside of a sealed container. Now, pH doesn't tell the whole story, okay? Just because water is alkaline doesn't mean that it's clean water. It doesn't mean that it has the proper nutrients in it. Okay, and it doesn't mean that it's acid-free water either. Okay, but the only thing that I can really say in this short video for you to hang your hat on is that drinking acid water, it cannot be good for your health. This is my personal opinion. Keep in mind, I am not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. Just did a home experiment and I've learned as much as I can about water. You can go research this on your own. Go take any of these waters in question and go get a pH meter and go test them on your own. See if what I'm saying is true for you. But I know for myself that I don't want to drink acid water because I think of my whole body as a bottle of water. I'm 70% water. If I add acid to my bottle of water here, my pH is going to go down. And my blood is going to have to compensate. Yes, my pancreas can neutralize any acid, for the most part, that I put in my body. But that just puts undue taxing on my pancreas and other organs in order to make the right minerals in order to neutralize any acids that are put in my body. So, to me, drinking acid water, when we're meant to be drinking alkaline water, water that comes from fresh rain and runs through down a mountain or in a stream or through a volcano and picks up ions and becomes more alkaline, when we're supposed to be drinking that, and a lot of us out there are actually drinking acid water, it doesn't make any sense to me. I find it detrimental to my own health. So let's get to the results, because I know that's what you're curious about. Which bottled waters out there did I test? And then remember, this is random sampling, okay? So all I really did was I took one bottle of water from random stores in LA, okay? And I tested them for pH. Now, Aquafina was on the low end at 5.7. Dasani was also low at 6.1. Crystal Geyser was 6.8. Volvic was 7.1. Fiji was 7.7. Evian was 7.8. Arrowhead was 7.8. And Mountain Valley was 7.8. And Icelandic Glacial was 8.7. Now, these are some of the biggest brands out there. I also tested 50 total bottled of water and 20 different kinds of other liquids. Okay? So, what I learned was that Aquafina and Dasani, these random samples that I took, were extremely acidic. Crystal Geyser was slightly acidic. Now, Volvic, it still isn't in the range that I want to drink because it's below the pH of my blood. And these are acceptable pH from Fiji, Evian, Arrowhead, Mountain Valley, and Icelandic Glacial. But like I said, it doesn't tell the whole story. pH is not everything, okay? Because this is potential for hydrogen, okay? And besides, minerals, basic minerals, and acids can mask each other in a solution. And sulfuric and nitric acids don't react. Okay? And that means that there can actually be acids in the water that your body will still need to deal with, even if the pH of the total solution is above 7, is alkaline. So even if a bottle of water says that it's high alkalinity, that really doesn't mean that it's clean water. You can still have dirty water that's alkaline. For example, the Los Angeles tap water is in between 7.4 and 7.6. And I don't think anybody in their right mind would drink Los Angeles tap water on a regular basis. It has chlorine, it has bromine, it has chloramine, because chlorine, I guess, wasn't strong enough, fluoride, all types of antibiotics and disinfectant byproducts, stuff that you really don't want to drink. And the water's alkaline. So this video isn't going to explain all the science, but all I know for myself is that I'm not going to be drinking acid water. So you already know which ones I tested to be acid. Go home and get your own pH meter and test which ones are acid for yourself. Now, if you want the full report, okay, where I give you all of the pH for all these 70 different kinds of liquids, I also give you TDS ratings, okay, total dissolved solids, measured in parts per million. And what that will tell you is not only which ones of these bottled waters are actually living up to their claims, but also it can give you an idea of how much acid in the water. Because if a bottled water has a very high TDS, but only is like a neutral pH, that means there has to be acid in the water to neutralize it, right? So I also measured ORP, oxidation reduction potential. Now on the internet, this is a huge thing about alkaline water, especially from people who like to sell ionizers or electrolysis machines for water, okay? They claim that a lower ORP or oxidation reduction potential is actually better for your water. And I give you all of the ORP readings for, most 90% of this stuff, and I explain some of my conclusions about ORP, TDS, and pH. I can't go into everything right now in this video. And I also show you which ones of these bottled waters actually live up to their claims. For example, Fiji claims a 7.7 pH, okay? And it is a 7.7. Evian claims a 7.2, but I got it at a 7.8. Now that's better, in my opinion, to have a higher pH, but it's still not the same. Mountain Valley Spring also claims a 7.8, and I got it at a 7.8. And Icelandic Glacial claims an 8.4, and actually I got it at an 8.7. But also they claim to have a 62 parts per million TDS. Okay, and I got it closer to 80 something. Maybe that explains why the pH was higher. But this is natural spring water. So it could be that this water in different seasons has different parts per million and different pH. So all you got to do, if you want to get the full report, not only of all the stuff I just told you, but also what I'm doing now to get the cleanest alkaline remineralized water, the proper water that we should be drinking for our optimal health. If you want to get that free report, all you got to do is give me somewhere to send it. So I've set up a opt-in box below, or connect to Facebook. And if you're connecting to Facebook, all you have to do is click allow, and the Facebook API just gives me your email address, and it'll be automatically sent to you. And then you'll be able to read that free report. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this extremely educational. Now you know what I would do if I were out there and I was going to get some bottled water and I needed to choose between all of these brands. So I hope that you learned something, and I'll see you on my other videos, and check out my book, Drastic Diet. Talk to you soon.